What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Over the Top Talk. I'm your host, Owen, and today I'm sitting here with Gabriel Green of the UFC. How are we doing today?
I'm good, man. LA's on fire, but I'm safe in my area, so hopefully the fires don't reach me. Other than that, chilling.
Perfect, man. And do you kind of want to start by telling me and the people a little bit about yourself?
So gifted Gabe Green, UFC. All my fights were at welterweight. My next one's gonna be at 55, so I'm gonna go down to lightweight. Been training martial arts for like 10 years now. On and off. Took some time taken off because of some injuries here and there, but yeah, 10 years strong.
Perfect. And what kind of got you into fighting?
Uh, I I was always like interested in it. My parents, or my dad was cool with me fighting. My mom never wanted me to fight. I was like a nerd in school. I did really good. I got really good grades, so they wanted me to be some like academic scholar or something like that. They wanted me, and I was down for it too. Like I was thinking about being a doctor or you know engineering or something. And then in the midst of all that, when I was finally old enough to train and signed the waiver myself and had a job, I found myself in an MMA gym. My friend actually came and picked me up and dragged me to it, and then yeah. I really really liked it, and I kind of just wanted to fight, and it's kind of just a full send from there.
Perfect. And what does a training camp look like for you? Like, does it change? Is it the same?
I mean, I love to train. I was just talking to one of my friends about it today. When I was a kid, I went through a time in my life where I was homeschooled. I couldn't go to school because I was real sick, and when I kind of had this miraculous kind of healing that the doctors didn't really know what was going on, but I got good, and I went from like sixth through 10th grade. I didn't go to school, so like 5 years of inactivity, and when I finally was able to have like a good body again, I really was like not gonna take a physically abled body for granted, and I really worked to just be the best me as I could physically possible. So I push and I push and I push almost too much through like I don't exit a camp unless or something that's camp like unless like an injury or something like that happens or something big happens to my life and I just for some reason can't make it to the gym. But I'm almost like training like I have a fight all the time to the point that my coach has to tell me to chill out and slow down. So inside of camp, outside of camp, it's all the same. The only thing that happens, it's like outside of a camp, I kind of work on all skills in growing in. Inside of a camp, I have a name. I have someone I'm getting ready for. So we kind of just dial in on the things I need to do to beat that certain individual.
That's awesome. When you go inside of the octagon, is there any pressure?
I mean, there is. You know that, especially in the UFC, you have to win. If you're just losing all the time, you're going to be cut from the roster, and you don't want to do that, right? Uh, the and then it's crazy how MMA fans react to you. Like, oh man, they're so hostile. Like I've lost a fight, and I mean I don't know if they're gambling on me or what, but like people are telling me like to go kill myself. Like I need to, and I usually respond in a very loving way, and I'm like telling them, guys, look, I'm perfectly happy with the person I am, and like I'm Christian and stuff, so I don't let the words of the world affect me too much. I just focus on God. But I tell them, there's other people out there who aren't as good in like aren't in the same kind of mental space that I am. And these things that you think are harmless can totally, you can unintentionally just kind of push someone over their edge. And like, you're not thinking about it. You guys should do a lot better in just the words that are coming out of your mouth, because they can really harm some people. Like, luckily they came to me, and I'll take them on the chin. I'll just be like, whatever. But like, the things people say, like, my phone will blow. I don't even know how people get my numbers. It's like text messages, emails, like comments on my pages, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. People just say the meanest things, and it's like, yeah, you shouldn't let that affect you. And like I said, I don't. But there's we're all human at the end of the day, and it only takes so much, or you can only take so much sometimes. And if you're not like, I use God to kind of recenter myself, but other people don't do that, and it can really be, it could hurt someone a lot. So you almost don't want to lose just because the people are just going to be going at you.
Yeah, and it's honestly a sad world, but what would you say is your favorite part about being a UFC fighter?
um it's just going out there and fight. They do a really good job with their shows, like and then, like, the way they take care of us with the weight cuts, and they give us like food to rehydrate, and all that stuff. Like, that's really sick. Outside of the UFC, every other promotion that I've ever been a part of, they never did any of that. You have to go find like your dietitian on the outside. You have to go find your physical therapist and stuff like that. So it's really cool that they have all that stuff just like accessible to us. And then not only that, just like the way they throw their shows, like how big they are when you're at like when you're fighting at T-Mobile or something like that, and just super loud, and you can really feel the energy of the show. Just the production of it is so amazing.
And with that, what's kind of your least favorite part about it?
Um Man, I I kind of really don't have like a part of it that I hate. I hate personally that I've been dealing with injuries and stuff like that, and I haven't been able to fight as much as I want to. But that really doesn't have anything to do with the UFC exactly. That's kind of like a me problem.
Yeah, who's been like your favorite opponent so far?
Favorite opponent? Um, Man, that's a good question. Probably, I got a special relationship with D Rod, kind of, because we end up having the same strength coach, and I run into him a lot. And so like we mess around and stuff, and like we'll joke around together. Uh, Still love a rematch though. And then you know, fighting Gary taught me a lot. And I have a lot of respect. I know a lot of people call him a kook and stuff like that, for whatever decisions he makes outside of the cage. But I have a lot of respect for him inside the cage, because he does not let anything outside of like that cage affect anything that he's doing inside there. Like, going into fights before Gary, I was really like, I would just go in not to win the fight, but to like I wasn't thinking of the fight as like a sport. I was like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna knock this guy out. But Gary does this thing where he does exactly what he needs to win, and like not even the whole fight. He just does whatever he needs to win every round. So like he's not even thinking, like he's thinking long term the entire time. And I was like very short sighted whenever I would go into fights. I respect him a lot in that essence. Like when he fought Venom Page, it was so slow, and like people are booing and they're saying it's trash, but he didn't let any of that affect him, and he did exactly what he needed to do to win. And I was like, you know what? That's a good way to go about things, Just do what you need to do to win, because at the end of the day, winning is pretty important.
And within the UFC, do you have any like people you look up to?
Um I absolutely love Max Holloway. I don't even know him personally, but and he doesn't know me personally, but he's been like really cool. Like he's cool to everybody. Like he sees you in the hallway, and I don't like have as much notoriety as like so many other people, right? And he's
Yeah.
still like friendly and says what's up, like that, and he's super cool. And then I just like the way he carries himself in and outside of the cage. Yeah, so probably like on the roster right now, Max, man. Max is a special guy.
And with every sport, there's losses and wins. How would you say you handle like losses?
You know, I go into every fight praying that I'm an instrument of God's will that day and that his will is done. And if I'm supposed to win, I accept my win. And if I'm supposed to lose, I accept my loss. And if I end up with that loss, I it doesn't like it doesn't not hurt. Like it's still like, dang, I lost. And but I just use it. I use it to fuel me and to go to the next one. But I accept it. Like I don't want to like I don't let it hang me up too much or stop me or whatever, because the Bible says there's seasons for everything. There's time for war, there's time for peace, there's time to mourn, there's time to dance, right? So like there's gonna be wins and losses in your life, and that's just the way that things are gonna happen. You're gonna fall down sometimes, but you just got to keep on going. So I don't let anything really hurt me. I just roll with it and go like, all right, so where are we gonna go from here? And I just keep on looking up and heading that way.
Awesome. Last thing I got for you, what advice would you hand to someone that might want to start getting into fighting or just anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that fighting or like learning a martial art, doesn't even have to be MMA in particular, but learning a martial art is it's so beneficial to everybody's character. It teaches you a lot about yourself. It makes you disciplined, especially something like wrestling or grappling, where I mean, but boxing and kickboxing too. If as long as it's like a combative sport where you're really going at it in hard sparring, you're going to be put in a situation where you are uncomfortable, and you got to be able to be in, like, really embrace that level of being uncomfortable, and then like problem solve and figure out a way to get out of it. And a lot of people don't really have to do that on a daily, or aren't super comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think that training martial arts does that, and that's super super beneficial for everybody. So I would just say across the board, go do martial arts. But if you want to do like competition, and if heading to the UFC or PFL or one is your end goal, and that's what you want to do, I would say to ask yourself if you like why do you want to do it? Because I think if you're doing it for any other reason, for like just the love of the game, for the besides the love of fighting, then you might be setting yourself up for kind of failure. It's really hard to get to the top, like a big promotion, um, because it's not even like there's plenty of guys that are really skillful and they don't even get there, because it's almost like you know I'm Christian, right? So God has this plan for everybody, and if you're meant to be there, you're gonna be there. If you're busting your butt, but just because you're busting your butt doesn't mean that you're gonna get there either. Unfortunately, that's just life. So if you're on this journey and you're trying to get to this destination, and all you're focusing on is the destination, you're gonna be it's just, you might be setting yourself up to not feel too well. It might not end the way you want. So as you're going through it, don't set forth on that journey unless you really love to fight. And while you're doing it, enjoy like every single step of the way. And if you're doing that, then it doesn't even matter where you end up at the end, you know?
Yeah, and that was everything I got. But for everyone that comes on, we kind of allow them to shout out anything, whether it's social media, just anything like that. So I'll give you the floor.
Yeah. And you can follow me, Gifted Gabe Green on Instagram, YouTube. I guess TikTok's gonna get banned in America, so that probably not be a good place to find me anymore. Facebook too, and especially if you want some, I just be posting about like I mean I'm a fighter, so I post about fight stuff every once in a while. But if you want to follow someone and learn about Christianity or I just had my daughter, so shout out to baby girl Genevieve, my beautiful wife too. Yeah, it's a lot of me being a dad and me being talking about scripture. So if you want to join the fun of that, go ahead and follow me.
Perfect, man. Well, I thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure talking to fighters like you. So
Oh yeah, man. Thank you for reaching out, and yeah, like if you want to do this again sometimes, just DM me and we'll figure it out.
perfect, man. So for everyone watching, I'll put his links down below, our links. Make sure to follow us both, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
God bless everybody.